There's dozens of videos out there telling you why you should use or not use a big coil for your metal detector. Now the theory is the bigger coil will give you better ground coverage on open areas, and the small coil will give you better target separation in amongst iron. We've all seen the tests, the coins in air boasting amazing depth, and with the small coil we've seen the tests where the coin's surrounded in nails and the recovery speed, etc, etc. But are we overthinking this whole small coil, big coil battle? I think we are, you know. Well, I've got my own theory, and we'll have a chat about that after we've dug a few targets. These are the settings I'm starting with, but I may change things around a little bit. Can you see there I've got the notch accepting up to 1. Let's move along. I'm using all tones, but I may go on to my free tones. I'll see what happens, but I'm going to start off with all tones. Sweep 5, ferrous, I'm going to turn that off, and the park program is my base program. The only other thing I'm going to do here is hit the horseshoe. So we've got the iron tone and we're ready to go. That'll do for our first one. Tiny little 4-hole button, so that's a good start. So the actual size of this coil is 15 by 12 and it's a DD configuration. It's called the EQX15. That's a good number, that's a high number. You'll probably notice that I'm running this machine a little hot. I've got sensitivity about 22. I will turn it down in a minute just to settle down those false signals. Oh, there it is. Look, 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 look. Is it a coin? Oh, it's a button. Oh, do you know what? I was getting all excited there. I thought it was a coin, but it's a button. Here we go. Onwards. I'm going to go down to 18. That'll do. Oh, look at that, low conductor. 3, 4. Just a really thin piece of foil, just really demonstrating how these big coils can still be sensitive to the real low conductors. So normally on this test field, obviously this used to be an ancient park, so there's a lot of junk in it, but normally when I'm here I tend to cherry pick the high tones, the bigger targets, basically coin shooting. But for this experiment I really want to see how sensitive this 15-inch coil is to the small stuff. So it'll probably be a failed experiment if I just went for the big stuff, so that's why I'm digging some of, well, the junk as well. Can you hear there? We've got a good signal, but we've also got that iron tone with it. And that's mainly down to the size of the coil, because we're seeing quite a lot of iron, because this site's quite iron contaminated. We're seeing a lot of iron under each sweep. But somehow the good signals just poke through. You've just got to learn to trust the machine, really. Ooh, it's another button. we're still getting lots of false signals, so I think it's probably time to get into that silencer, the FE for iron bias, and just take it up to, let's say, 2, see if that changes. That's literally halved my false signals. There's a high conductor there, iron. Lower conductor there. So you can hear that all tone working on that sliding scale. Not sure about this one. Can you hear it's got off? You could hear that fluttering sound, and I think that's the silencer trying to break up some difficult iron. So normally I wouldn't dig this target. I think it is iron because it's got that stutter with it. I tend to dig the more purer sounds on the Equinox 900, but just to put our mind at rest, let's have a look. It's there, so let's pass the coil over it and see what it sounds like. Three pieces of iron there. Haha! I have no idea. Oh, I'll tell you what I've done to this probe. I've put a little 25mm magnet on the back, just glued it on, so then I can tell if something's ferrous or non-ferrous. So the EQX11 weighs in at about 520 grams, and this EQX15 weighs in at about 687 grams. But it does feel quite light. The only difference is between this and the 11-inch coil, it seems to have a little bit more inertia, so it's always useful to use the arm strap when sweeping this. And it's compatible with, of course, the Minelab Equinox 900, what we're using today, the Equinox 800, the Equinox 700, the Equinox 600, the Terra Pro, and the Terra Elite. There you go, a bit higher on the meter. '70s, just about there. Do a bit of further investigation, you know. I do like this probe, you know, this Profine 40. When I first got it, I turned the power full up and done a depth test, and it just blitzed all my other probes. But having got out into the field, I've then had to turn the power down a notch because it is too sensitive. See what I mean? It's picking up everything around the hole, so just turn the power down one and then you can better locate it. But some of those targets, you know, you really can't find, then you've got the ability to turn that power up to maximum just to get that bit extra. So I'd say full power isn't something you're going to use all the time, but when you need it, oh, I can see it, it's just there, look, can you see it? It's on the top of the dirt. I think that's probably a 1918 because most of that year had spade marks through the middle of them. So a little bit gung-ho on the digging, but that's what it is. It's a coin. If there's something on it, I will post it up. A nice target and quite respectable depths. I think that audio sound had a lot more in it, at least another 5 or 6 inches in it, didn't it? It's such a booming sound. So when we're talking about extra depth, that's mainly down to your settings. The correct frequency for your desired targets, the correct sweep speed for obviously your terrain and your sweep technique, Also, your sweep technique, while we're on that subject, needs to be consistent and even just to get the most out of your metal detector. And then we've got other settings such as sensitivity and perhaps ground balance in certain conditions. So it's not just a case of putting the big coil on and finding deep targets, it's a case of working alongside the coil with the correct settings. Quite a soft one there, 5960. Oh, don't know. Looks like it's got something on it. Yeah, it has. No idea. If you know what that is, guys, why not post in the comments below? If you use a 15-inch coil on your Minelab, why not give us your thoughts? That'd be good to hear from you. 88, 89, right next to that little path there, look. Well, still down there, so yes, keep going. A little bit wider, I think. I think I can see it, look. Huge piece of something or other. I don't know. But yeah, that was a massive signal. I think I would have got that another 10 inches down, you know. So here's my theory. Okay, we've got the theories written down on paper, big coil, more ground coverage, more depth, yada, yada, yada. But I think we're overthinking it, because on many occasions I've been on a Roman site with a big coil and had great results. Now, if you want to see one of those videos, I'll post it up now. It's where I took the Manticore 15-inch coil on a Roman site and it really surprised me. So I think it's a case of, does the coil suit the site? Your only barrier to entry really is your terrain. If you've got a rocky environment, you're not going to get a 15-inch coil in between the rocks, are you? And also your ability to sweep this coil, will you need a harness, etc, etc. Personally, I found it just as light as the 11-inch. The only thing was that inertia, but using that arm strap, it done a really good job. Now, I don't doubt that it will give you better ground coverage and better depth on certain scenarios, but what it's proved to me today, it's got sensitivity to small targets, it's stable, and it sings out on the bigger targets. So it is an all-round coil, and I think it suits this site. So it really is as simple as that, I think. Does the coil match your site? And the only way you're going to find if the foot fits the shoe is go out and try one for yourself. Why not visit Crawford's and use my absolutely shameless Shield Tuber affiliate code. Sorry, bye for now.